Hello,
Hello.
guys.
In this video, we're making a movie review about a Minecraft movie.
Yep, Minecraft movie.
We're introduced to our gang of main characters one by one, who each carry their own personal struggles. One family is moving on after a tragic event. Another guy is facing bankruptcy. Basically, everything is depressing. And they have one thing in common. Their problems affect their creativity. So suddenly they find themselves sucked into the Minecraft overworld, where it's weird, it's blocky, and it's filled with weird physics. Now they're forced to start using their creativity in order to survive.
The film is directed by Jared Hess. You might know his works from Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. But if you don't, then don't worry, because we don't know either.
Yeah, I agree.
So he has a style with his type of movies. They're like very unique. They're quirky and like they have an awkward sense of humor to it. They usually focus on oddball characters or people who don't quite fit in. And he likes to use deadpan jokes where people say funny things with a straight face. And he likes to create a very specific look and feel for his films.
Very unique.
But sadly, his movies usually gets a rating of 5 to 6 stars out of 10. But like this suggests that people often find them consistently fun and playful, even when serious things are happening in the story, bringing that lighthearted, playful style to the blocky world of Minecraft.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think his work is mainly focused on specific audience like children or people who enjoy deadpan joke. And same for Minecraft movie. Yeah. I think it's really focused on joke and children. And also the fan of Minecraft, of course.
Yeah, the fans.
Because there are a lot of joke in there that only the fan will understand. And after we talk about demographic, the story, now we move on to the actor.
Yeah, the actor. Starting with
Starting with Jack Black, who played as Steve. Steve is the main, no, he's not the main character.
arguably he might be.
He should be, but he isn't. He's more like, the tutorial guy.
Yeah, this is the guy for the sister and the brother.
Yeah, the other main characters.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Jack Black. I think the studio is pick the right person for this role. I feel like he really fit his role, his acting perfectly matched for the role and the script of this character. Moving on to Jason Momoa. I know him before from the movie like Aquaman and Fast and Furious. And for Aquaman, it looked like, yeah, he matched for the character who meant to be not that serious, but it still have, when the situation coming serious, it's serious. But when talk about Minecraft movie, his acting on the role of Garrett is another level. He's kind of like an idiot who play a joke every time, and other people allow that kind of, what? What are you doing?
Yep.
It's like an idiot, But yeah, the role is perfectly matched. And talk about the chemistry between Steve and Garrett is perfectly matched. His duo is entertaining. Now we're moving on to the next character.
So the next characters are Emma Myers and Sebastian Hansen. Many people will recognize Emma Myers from her breakout role in the popular series called Wednesday. She brings a strong screen presence to the film. She skillfully portrays Natalie's cautious intelligence and delivers the character's dry and witty lines with good timing. Like whenever Garrett does something idiotic, she calls him an idiot.
Yeah.
So opposite to her is Sebastian Hansen, tackling the role of Henry.
Brother.
Yeah, the brother. He delivers a performance that effectively captures the character's initial wide-eyed enthusiasm and convincingly shifts to show vulnerability as the situation becomes more dangerous. what really works well is the chemistry between these two characters, these two actors as well. Their interactions, they feel natural, making the sibling bond believable on screen. As the actors, they successfully create that dynamic, providing a relatable human connection amidst all the blocky action and the adventure.
Moving on, we got the last two characters. So we have the landlady, right? She's played by an actress named Danielle Brooks. I think she played her role very well. I'm not really sure. I'm not very familiar with her works. But I think for this role, she did pretty well. She was pretty, uplifting and fun. And then moving on, we got the actor or voice actor for Malgosha, the Piglin witch, the villain.
The name, yes.
Her name is Rachel House, and she voiced Grandma Tala in Momoa. And she also played the Grandmaster's bodyguard, Topaz, in Thor Ragnarok. It felt like the actors genuinely enjoyed making this film.
Yeah.
But, in some cases, it felt like they weren't playing their Minecraft characters. Instead, they were playing as themselves in a cool, quirky world, right?
Yeah. The blocky world.
Yeah, the movie, I feel like it relied on its famous casting to market it instead of a interesting story, right?
There's a Momoa and
Jack Black, you got Emma Myers, very familiar and famous faces for the movie. And you were mostly looking at them because they were actors, famous actors, and not because of
the story of the Minecraft.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the character. Let's start with Steve. Yeah, this version of Steve is quite fun, hilarious, and he also a good mentor for other characters.
Yeah, all the other ones.
Like Natalie, what's her name again?
Henry.
Yeah, Henry.
John.
And even became a best friend for Garrett.
Yeah.
He become bro. And yeah, I want to mention that he really close to the Garrett, but I don't want to spoil, so watch it.
They got a fun chemistry, all the characters together.
So let's move on to Garrett. I just talk about Garrett is an idiot. Yeah. He's a garbage man who.
Well, that's his
Bankrupt.
nickname.
Yeah. He's not that garbage man. But
That's not his job, okay? That's his nickname.
yeah. His nickname is come from game competition last maybe 10 years or 20 years ago from the period of the movie. And
his backstory is that he's a professional gamer.
yeah.
But that game started to die out, and now he's going bankrupt.
Yep. And after that, he found other character, made them. He's still an idiot, but he go with them in the movie during the Minecraft film. During he goes to the Minecraft film, it's like he go, but he's still an idiot. But he's go up to become a person who less greedy, more wants, have more hearts, have more human, become more human.
Yeah, he became a better person after his experience in the Minecraft world.
Yeah.
For all the character development.
Yeah, character development.
So moving on to the sibling.
Okay, so we got the siblings, Natalie and Henry. They bring a lot of energy. Natalie starts out not believing anything, while Henry is amazed by everything. This difference between them is nice to see. They also have a backstory about getting used to a new place in the real world. Like they didn't buy, I guess they rented a house. Which
New house all the way in the suburbs.
yeah, it's new to them and they have to figure out how to live that life. Yeah. Which connects how they get used to the Minecraft world. Their story isn't super new, but the way they care about each other adds warmth to the movie, reminding us it's about people, not just blocks and monsters.
Yeah.
And then we got next up.
Next up, we have I'm gonna start with the landlady, right? The ones who rent out the house to Natalie. She also turns out to have a side job that takes care of animals, which translates to the Minecraft world, where she also gets great chemistry with the animal bear, the wolves. But other than that, I'm not exactly sure what she's doing in the movie. I guess she's there as, emotional support for Natalie and the attitude, but she's quite forgetful as a character.
Oh, yeah.
And the other character is the villain, the Piglin witch Malgosia. She's your typical comically evil witch who threatens to trample all of creativity, basically, threaten against the theme of the entire movie.
So let's talk about the theme, the hidden message that the movie carries. Surprisingly, this movie has something to tell to the audience.
Yeah.
And the biggest theme is creativity.
Of course.
Yes. So you're telling us that we should not be scared of it. You have to embrace creativity.
And don't let, anyone else trample on your creativity.
Yep.
Right?
Like if you're trying to do something new and you're happy with it, but then someone comes over and they say, oh, you shouldn't do that, it doesn't look good, you should do something else, something that's more
Important.
more important, more
Mature.
stuff like that. They're telling us to ignore those types of people and keep going with your creativity.
It can become the world you want it to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I guess there's more than one theme. Like the other theme I found is finding yourself. Like Garrett, right? Before he used to be greedy and selfish.
And he was tied to his past, right?
Yeah, he keeps wanting to tell people that he's number one video gamer. Look, I play this video game. I'm number one, stuff like that.
Even though a long time ago.
Yeah, people doesn't care about that, but he's still bragging about it. But now, afterwards, he kind of reflected on himself. He's no longer greedy, he's no longer selfish, and he's generally a better person after that. Maybe because he accepted creativity. Maybe that's what creativity can do, make you a better person. Try it out.
Visually, the overworld looks really nice. It looks amazing. The colors and the landscapes are really immersive, right?
Really realistic.
Yeah, but there's one slight issue I have. It's with some of the design choices. The characters and the mobs, compared to the game, they were kind of oversized, right? Let's say the wolf. It's almost more than half of a human height. When in the game, it was a third, right at their feet.
Look quite too big.
Yeah, they were all scaled very oddly.
Yeah.
Especially the villagers. They were giants compared to the humans.
Really tall.
It turned out quite uncanny because there's a whole ratio of trying to keep it, let's say, cartoonish, but also realistic. So I think, they should have approached with a more stylized, cartoony theme instead of trying to keep it realistic, right?
And after talk about relationship, I also want to mention about the wolf, the sheep. A friendly mob in game, it doesn't look friendly in the movie. It looks uncanny,
So one of the biggest hurdles in any video game adaptation is pleasing the existing fan base. So did a Minecraft movie look like Minecraft the movie? How accurately did it represent the game we know and love? So we talked about the looks, right? They did a great job. It fully committed to the blocky look of everything. The different areas, the biomes, they look right. The buildings feel like they belong. And the items like the crafting tables, the torches, the pickaxes, the sword, they look like they came straight out of the game, but they are made real. They're made realistic. And the monsters, the mobs, they look very much like they do in the game. The creepers, the skeletons, the zombies, they all look familiar. Like a creeper, you don't see them in real life, but in the movie, I can tell that is a creeper, instantly. And they're just made more realistic, more detailed. Huge thumbs up for this. However, there's some characters, like he said, the villagers, they look kind of odd. And also the piglins, the piglins, for some reason, they look less blocky and more fat, which is kind of kind of odd. And next up is the survival aspect of the game. Did they capture it well? Well, the movie shows how dangerous it is when it's nighttime and when all the monsters comes out. Just like in the game, the characters need light and shelter, and they have to fight to stay alive. This feels like the basic survival needs of Minecraft. They capture that very well. But there's one difference. In the game, you need to eat food to heal whenever you take damage and whenever you get hurt. But in the movie, when a character gets hurt, they don't eat anything. They just feel better, which I don't know. They didn't get that from the game to the movie. And
But then again, I don't think you can really expect to include all of Minecraft's physics into a single movie, a 1 hour movie.
I mean, yeah, but like there is a fight scene, and at the end of the fight scene, you could add a subtle reminder like you eat an apple and you feel a lot better.
That would have been cool.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
And lastly, this is kind of controversial, but like Steve's fancy gear, mainly the elytras. So
Like the beam.
the wings, the item that makes you glide in the game. So in the game, getting the elytra is something you can only do after beating tough challenges and exploring special places like the end cities. But in the movie, it seems like it's Steve's first time adventuring to the Nether, because in the Nether, it gives you the resources necessary to go get the elytra.
It looked like Steve didn't get the chance to explore the Nether.
Yeah. So there's no way that Steve can go to the Ender and get Electra.
Yeah, like the only plausible solution is like he found it in the overworld from someone else.
Or perhaps a villager traded it.
Maybe in the movie, the villager has access to it and they traded it to him. I'm not sure, because in the game, you cannot trade for the elytra. You can only get it from a very specific place. So it feels like a shortcut to use the item. If you never played the game before, then like it's okay. It's not gonna trigger you. But like I know the game and I'm kind of upset about it, okay? But not that much.
So, in my opinion, I give this movie a 6 out of 10. It's a fun movie, if you don't think too hard, if you don't expect a deep movie, it's good. The humor is constant with a heavy dose of, modern references, and it's lighthearted. And there were a lot of, really cool cameos of the community if you look real close. But my only issues were that the pacing, it was really fast. Steve basically explained the entire world, explained the physics, introduces the villain in the first 5 minutes.
Yep.
And the characters, they barely got introduced, had their, they laid down their problems and then fixed it real quick within a day.
It's too far.
Like they say, oh, here's Steve. Here's his backstory. Here's these characters. These are the main characters. Go on an adventure. There you go. Story.
Yep.
After that, after 30 minutes, everything is fine.
Oh no, we have problems. Solved. Come back home. Happy ending.
Yeah. It doesn't feel that character actually developed their personality by the experience that with the space a long time ago.
Yep.
I actually want to give the movie 6, I guess.
6 as well.
Yeah, 6 as well. Because I think adaptation for the game is great. Character is great. Actor is also great. But when talking about the story, yeah, it's kind of unbelievable to me. It doesn't make sense in some aspect. To feel like, wow, you solved it that quick. It doesn't feel real to me. So yeah, 6 out of 10.
Okay, so my final rating out of 10, I would also give it a 6. Surprising.
Yeah.
Look, it's not a perfect copy of the game. Some things are missing and some things are different. They're changed. But honestly, I still had a very fun time watching it. I laughed a lot and was smiling through most of it. And the big reason for that was the actors, Jack Black and Jason Momoa. They brought so much energy and fun. Without them, I think the movie might have been like, kind of boring. Like without them, I would give it a 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, should you watch it? if you love Minecraft and want to have a fun, bulky adventure and with some good laughs, thanks to the actors, then yes, give it a go. Just expect a little bit of rule breaking here and there.
It's good for laugh, just for the fans. And if you don't think too deep of the story and the characters, it's great. It's basically Minecraft meets TikTok energy.
Yep, because there are a lot of moments that can make you laugh.
Loud, fun, and chaotic, but entertaining. Goodbye.
Right.